If you ever fly under a menacing sky over the middle of Pennsylvania, halfway between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, right in the middle of the state, below you will be the kind of breathtakingly beautiful scenery which strikes terror into the heart of an airman in trouble. For the 7 mountains of the Appalachians are as formidable, as impenetrable, as rugged as any in our east. But whoever landscaped Pennsylvania planned it that way for contrast. So keep going, past Phillipsburg, keep going, because just beyond the 7th mountain, suddenly, as the sea waters once parted for the children of Israel, the mountains separate, and there stretched out before you is the wide, wonderful valley of the Kishocoquillas, intersected by the wider valley of the Juniata River, magnificent flat land, 4 miles wide, 30 miles long. Land there. Land there because you'll want to visit the town of Lewistown. I did Saturday. You know, Boy Scouting was born 50 years ago, and its cradle was the Juniata Valley. So I flew over the 7 mountains Saturday and folded my wings, and we had a picnic to celebrate. What an evening. The first Boy Scout band in America was in Troop 4 in the Juniata Valley Council, and do you know that Saturday night, 50 years later, there were 20-some members of that original Boy Scout band back with us to celebrate the anniversary? Many fat, bald, big tummies, some still playing the instruments which they played as boys 50 years ago, and they played again for us Saturday night. Central Pennsylvania is the land of my own paternal ancestors, so the basket and casserole food which everybody brought to this big indoor picnic was irresistible. Such things as noodle pudding, unheard of on my calorie chart. I ate 5 servings. Actually, the Amish and Mennonite farmers of the Juniata Valley have been driving cars only about 2 years, but as farmers, they pioneered some of our most progressive and productive practices. Dairy farming, chickens, grain. Lewistown, remember to pronounce it town, is gradually shedding its older houses. On Pill Hill, where it seems mostly doctors live, the architecture tends to be almost ultra-modern. Industry is becoming proportionately more important, but there is no place you can live or work in Lewistown where you'd be more than 10 minutes away from trout streams and wild deer runs. So Boy Scouting could hardly have had a more appropriate environment. More, however, there is something about a mountain valley in which folks are required to huddle close geographically, which makes for an interdependence socially. Fellowship is so totally unrestrained. For example, my broadcasts are on 2 stations presently in Lewistown, while an ABC affiliation change takes place, yet both stations were equally and completely hospitable. All for one for all, sort of esprit de corps. I flew back to Chicago in snow. Tomorrow I'll go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin to address the Wisconsin State Telephone Association. Thursday to Dallas, Texas to speak to the Texas Hospital Association banquet. I anticipate each eagerly, but I look back upon the Juniata Valley of Pennsylvania with a very special appreciation and affection. The dead center of Pennsylvania is one of the liveliest places I know.